Hi, guys. Sorry I haven't really posted anything recently. I meant to, but a couple weeks ago I had a flare up. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and flare ups are a part of EDS. I don't get them that often, thankfully. I haven't had one in a while, but I did have one a couple weeks ago. And I'll describe what it's like for those of you who aren't familiar with EDS or aren't familiar with chronic health conditions at all. For me, a flare up is kind of like the flu, but worse, and also has migraine parts. I don't know where to start. It's EDS affects your entire body. It's to do with the way your body recognizes and produces collagen. I have the wrong recipe for it in my DNA. So even if I took collagen supplements or something, my body would just throw it out with the trash. Because it'd be like, this isn't collagen, this is collagen. But no, bad collagen, which affects every part of my body. Most of your body has collagen in it. The skin, the organs, the joints, the cartilage, pretty much everything. And what a flare up means for me is I ache all over like the worst flu you ever had in your life. And I'm in pain, and I lose the ability to regulate my body's temperature. So the whole time I'm like, blanket on, blanket off, blanket on, blanket off. Even waking up in the night to take the blanket on and off. And I usually get a migraine with it because I am a migraineur, someone who suffers from migraines. So, you know, that's fun. Like I wasn't already having enough fun. Then I also get a migraine. How that's not fair. And it makes it hard for me to digest things for a while. It usually messes up my digestive tract. Anything from an upset tummy to more blatant issues, shall we say. And it messes with my cognition, makes it hard for me to remember things that I've already done, remember that I need to do things, makes it hard for me to think good. I actually had a conversation with one of my friends 5 days after it happened, and God bless her, she was so patient. But it was like a 30-minute conversation where I would say, "Oh, did I tell you about how?" And then she'd be like, "Yeah, you told me last time we talked." "Oh, how about the? Yeah, you told me last time we talked." "Alex, thanks." I was mortified. Very nice about it, but yeah. And the pain is bad. I have some extra painkillers that I can take when I get a flare up or when my pain gets higher, which happens on a fairly regular basis with EDS. The higher pain, not the flare ups. Flare ups are a couple times a year. But the extra pills don't really do a whole lot. So I don't know. Sometimes if it's even worth taking them when it hits, but when you get a flare up, you'll do pretty much anything to make it be less. So screw it. Might as well, you know? But I'm better now. Um, but I missed out on a good week and a half of being me. I got some stuff done. I was able to go see Legally Blonde the musical with my friend Simon, and I went to some other stuff. Watched some TV. Watched a lot of TV. Rewatched the Matrix trilogy. But there was a lot of stuff I missed out on, and as a disabled person, sometimes it almost feels like my life is made up just as much of the things I didn't do as the things I did do. A lot of opportunities I miss. Either because I thought I could do them and then my body said, no, you can't. Or because I look at it and I know darn well that I can't do that. If I try to do that, my body will kick my ass for it. Pardon my French. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. But eventually it passes, as all things pass. Um, when I was a little kid, my mom briefly volunteered over at the Mott Children's Hospital over near where I grew up, the Pediatric Oncology Ward. And she could only do it for a couple years because you can only really do that for 1 or 2 years before you can't do it anymore. But when she worked there as a volunteer with those kids with cancer, they would celebrate everything. Like every gosh darn thing that you could think of. All those stupid holidays that were like, oh, come on, that's not even a real holiday. They celebrated it there, I'll tell you that. President's Day, frickin' National Cake Day, whatever. They would celebrate it. And my mom told me about this, and she's like, look, a lot of these kids aren't going to get their fair share of birthdays or Christmases. Even the ones that do miss out on a lot of the ones that happen while they're in the hospital because, you can only trick or treat so much within a cancer ward. A lot of them are in isolation because they can't even, touch their moms or their dads. So they miss out on the normal child experience, so we try and help them celebrate other things as much as we possibly can. And, as much as they could in that ward, they would, everything was cake and balloons, and they would get in face painters to paint the kids' heads. I saw the sickest freaking Tigger on one kid's bald noggin one time. I was jealous. Not enough to shave my head off. I've always loved my hair, but that was a sick-ass Tigger, I'll tell you that. And that always stayed with me. And I've, as a result of that, always tried to celebrate everything I can, no matter how silly it is. I still celebrate my birthday for most of the month of May. I try not to be a jerk about it, But, yeah, I celebrate. I, put on fancy makeup and I wear silly hats and I buy decorations for the smallest darn reason. And I think that's helped me with being disabled. Because it's taught me to celebrate the small things and that the small moments are still worth celebrating. It doesn't have to be the most amazing thing ever to be worth celebrating. So, last Friday I celebrated getting over my flare-up, and I had a gay old time, and I went out to, thank goodness it's Fridays, and I got ribs, and these like potato skin thing, they were good. And I got a couple different virgin cocktails. I'm a non-drinker, but I love me a mocktail. And what else did I do? I think I got pedicure, and I went shopping, and I got some stuff from the video game store, and celebrated just getting to live. And it's worth it. The little things are worth it. And I suppose most of the people viewing this probably can't relate in such that most of you don't have chronic health conditions. Thank goodness, I'm glad you're okay. But there's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of people put off because it's not a big deal or it's not worth it. And I think you're making the wrong call there, because it is. And if you keep waiting for the moment to be worth it, you never know if you're going to get that moment at all. So celebrate what you got. Celebrate your 42nd birthday. It's not, the big 4-0 or the big 5-0 or the big anything, but it's your damn birthday. Celebrate. So yeah. And the celebrations continue over here. I'm a little gussied up today because I'm going to go to the Royal Show, which I'm really excited about because it wasn't on last year, and I love the Royal Show because you buy one ticket and they let you pet all the damn animals up in there. You can pet dogs, sheep. Well, you can try and pet alpacas, but they don't really want you to pet them, so good luck. pigs, horses, goats. It's a pet and free for all. They just let you pet everything for one ticket, and that's a really good deal. So I'm gonna go off now because show's gonna open soon, and they're starting with the agility dogs, which is just my favorite. So bye.